guys, welcome back to my channel and yet another video. Today I'll be sharing with you my cash envelope stuffing for February 2020. I get paid once a month, so I usually do this once every single month, and I want to thank you for all the support I've received, and I thank you for the feedback that I realized that you enjoyed the last video that I posted, my last cash envelope video, so I hope this will be just as popular. And if you do want to see more about my budgeting journey, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the comment section below. So let's just go ahead and get started. Now, I hope you enjoyed my previous video, which was my February budget 2020 setup, and that is how I set up all these. So let's go ahead and let me zoom you in so that you can see. I need 1000 notes, I need 500 notes, I need 200 notes, and I need 100 notes. For this month I don't need the 50s as I'm stuffing my envelopes. So my electricity, I like two 500 notes, and then no water garbage is 200. Chamas is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Groceries is 1, 2, 3, 4. Fare is 1, 2, and then a 500 note. Then beauty is 500. Actually, it's not supposed to be there. And for my debt, I have broken it down into different amounts, so I need to break down this amount. So I will need 1500, so 1500, and then I'll need 1200. Remember the 200 we have placed here by mistake, so it's 1200. And then I need 4000. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives me a total of 6700. Next is R, that is 200 and 100. Then there is S, then it's 200 and 100. Christmas gets 200, birthdays gets 200, and emergency for this month will get a total of 100. So this is going to be 17, this is going to be 25, so it's going to be 1200, and this is going to be 300. I have my cash envelopes here, all of them are ready for me, and like I mentioned in my previous my final check-in for January, I said that I might have new cash envelopes. I have been quite busy, I've not been able to make them, but I'm making them soon. So when I'm doing my first check-in, I will have those envelopes ready. These are a bit big compare with our currency, and so I wanted to make ones that are a little smaller, and I can now punch them at the bottom and not at the top here, so that I can save them this way instead of this way in my little folder over here. So if you would like to see that, consider subscribing and clicking the little bell icon so that you'll be notified when I actually post that video, when I actually make them, and when I am checking in for the first week of February. I will begin with my expenses, and because we don't have a water envelope, I'll just continue using the same envelope, but for this month nothing will be put in for water. And I have 3 expense envelopes. I consider my tithe as an expense because it's something I believe I should be chipping in because of my faith, but I will not show you me stuffing this one because I've already done it, so I'll just put that aside. And so for my expenses, I'll only be stuffing my water, my electricity, and my chamas. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and remove my flashcards. And so I'll start with my electricity, and for this month, today is the 1st, for February, I will be putting in 1,000 shillings, so the balance is going to be 1,000, and I like doing it in two 500 shilling notes, because one I will buy as soon as this week, and then the other 5 I'm going to buy sometime during the middle of the month. Next is chamas. So actually for this envelope I put in my water, electricity and garbage money to pay for the bills. So I'll just go ahead and add the 200 shillings for my garbage. Then take out that cash envelope because I have made a little mistake over there, and just indicate the same date. Add in the 200 shillings, and then the total is going to be 1,200. I'm glad I got that early. Next will be my chamas, and for my chamas I will be putting in 5,000 shillings. So 5,000, the balance is going to be 5,000, and this amount will not be here for too long. Sometime next week it will be gone. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, moving on to our cash envelopes. Let's go ahead and take out all the little flashcards from in there. So the first one is my groceries, and I'm putting in 4,000 shillings. Again the date, 4,000 shillings, and that is what we'll be putting in for this month. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is our fare, and we'll be putting in 2,500 for this month. Okay. 1, 2, 500. 1, 2, 500. Next is my beauty envelope, and I call it hair and allowance, but for this month I will not be putting any allowance in there, and I have some money left over, so I'll just put this aside, and then at the end of the video I will show you what I do with that money. So I'll just go ahead and indicate so that I have a balance of 0, and then on the same day I'll indicate I've added 500 shillings. That is will be the balance. Just take one 500 shilling note, just put it in there. And last for my cash envelopes is my debt, and this is a new flashcard. So the date, the balance. So for the 1st of Feb 2020 I will be putting in 6,700, so the balance is going to be 6,700, and I am using this little envelope that I laminated differently so that it opens on this side instead of this side. So I also need to remember the breakdown I needed. So I need 1,500, then I need 1,200, and then lastly I need 4,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'll be paying different avenues, I need it broken down into such amounts, such values, because it will be easier for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 500, 700. So 6,700 to pay for my debt. Next and last will be my sinking funds, and I have them over here. A little note to mention is that R and S will be like 1,000 shillings each, because I used that to buy something I really needed for my house, but I will not be indicating it in my flashcards because I want to pay off that amount as soon as possible. So I want to be accountable for that. So I'll just go ahead and remove all the flashcards from so I'll start with R, and R will be receiving 300 shillings. So 1st of Feb. So the total I'm going to indicate is 1,300, but indeed it's 300, of which I will be adding back the 1,000 as soon as possible. So R. Then next we have S. S will be receiving the same amount, 300 shillings. So 1st of Feb 2020 will be receiving 300. The total is going to be 1,600, of which will be 600 because I've used the 1,000 from that, and have 300, and then I'll be adding 300 more. So we'll have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 shillings. Next is Christmas. Yes, and Christmas will be receiving 200 shillings, giving a total of 600. So this 200, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 for Christmas. Next will be birthdays, and for birthdays be receiving 200. So 1st of 2020 receiving 200. So the balance is going to be 200. I am not really worried about this cash envelope because the next person who has a birthday in my life will be in May, so I have some time to save up for that. And lastly is my emergency, and my emergency fund has 100 shillings. Again, I'll place it aside, so I'll indicate that it has been taken out so that the balance is 0, and I'll be putting in 100 shillings, so the balance is going to be 100. Actually, what I'm thinking is I might just return this amount there, but no. Actually, what I'll do is just put this back in. So for the money that was left over for the past month, I will choose any envelope, any sinking fund to put this money in. And I'm thinking, because for this month I actually don't have any unbudgeted envelope, I think I'll just put this in there just to be safe. So I'll just take my little envelope that I put money for anything unbudgeted, and I'll just put in the 150 there. So the 1st of February 2020, I'll put in 150. So my balance is going to be 150. I think it's going to make me feel a little bit secure if I have a little bit of money in here, even though I'll try as much as I can not to use it, but I'll be happy when I have that in there. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and that is all I had for you. Please consider subscribing if you want to see any of my videos in future. Thank you so much for your support and for taking time to spend time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.